Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be all about science champions. Which 5 science champions are currently the best 5 science champions in the game. And so I have made the video for most of the classes. I was basically going which is, in my opinion, the weakest class to the strongest one. And the last 2 classes that were remaining are science and cosmic. So that does mean that I think science is the second best class in the game currently, and topped only by cosmic class, which is getting some insane champions lately. But anyways, so as all of the other videos I posted, we're going to be going from the champion I consider to be the best to the second best to the third best to whichever. So I do personally believe that Quake is the best science champion in the game, and in my opinion also the best champion in the game. There have been several videos posted on my channel kind of explaining why I do believe so. You should go and check them out, but I will give you like a short abridged version. It's just because Quake completely bypasses vast majority of the fighting mechanics. That also means that she does not need to interact with the opponent, and basically she's going to be your answer to vast majority of the cash grab nodes. If you can play Quake well, she's extremely useful in pretty much every single area of the contest. And yeah, she might not be the champion that's easiest to play or fastest to kill, but she's definitely a champion that answers the largest amount of absolute ill-designed nodes, just basically by ignoring majority of them. Anyway, so yes, I believe Quake is the best champion in science class. And my pick number 2 goes to Void, because Void, ever since he came out, has proven himself to be just more and more and more of a beast. He doesn't have many bad matchups. He's extremely kind of reliable playstyle. Well, the one thing I don't like about Void is because it does kind of rely on RNG quite often. When you're gonna land the buff you need, most notably probably the Petrify buff when you're dealing with like some heavy power gains or heavy regens. So that is like the one downside of Void. However, his ability to completely deal with pretty much all of the power gain, regen nodes and stuff like that is really insane. On top of that, he has pretty much the largest health pool in game, or one of the largest health pools in game. He can hit fairly hard when you have Fear of the Void active. That means whilst the fight has been like a decent while underway. Also, you can play extremely passively and just rely on your damage over time. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there are many different ways where you can play Void, although typically you just want to spam your level 1s, but Void is going to answer to a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of kind of tricky scenarios. Void is often your kind of like go-to champion. His Incinerate immunity is coming more and more useful, and yeah, I just think he is an absolutely great champion. Might not be exactly my playstyle, but still, I have him at rank 4. I love him at rank 4, and quite often I do end up using him, just because he is often the best answer for certain problems. And then the third pick would go to Captain America Infinity War, and I do rank him below Quake and Void just because he sort of needs to be tuned to what you need to do. You can't access like his full potential with all of the champions all the time, because his utility entirely depends on what champions you have on your team and what kind of classes you have unlocked. So you always need to keep that in the back of your mind. Other than that, Captain America Infinity War, absolutely great champion. His level 2 probably has one of the hardest single hits in the game, so he can deal out massive damage. Perfect parries is always nice, so yeah, if you have maxed out parry mastery, you will not be taking any parry damage, which is insane. His playstyle of parry heavy is quite easy to pull off, becoming more and more useful in Act 6 now as well. And yeah, his utilities, if you can just quickly check in him. So first of all, the problem is that I do believe he needs to be max SIG to perform as well. You lose a lot of utility if he's unduped. Now, he's not a bad champion by any means unduped, because he can deal with unstoppables, he still has perfect parries, still has a great amount of synergies with different champions that will help out many classes, and overall he's a solid champion. Unduped, I don't think he would make top 5 though, because the things I love about him are coming from his dupe ability, and basically he gains additional effects based on what class champions you have on your team. Most notably, you have the tech champions. Well-timed block base places 25% petrified debuff on opponent. That means you're slowing down and eventually reversing opponent's power gain and heal. That's a great piece of utility. With cosmic ones, well-timed blocks place an armor break on opponent. That's also amazing when you need to inflict armor breaks on opponent and just have like another debuff. With science, weakness is nothing too special, but it's still another debuff. So typically on a single parry you can place 3 debuffs on opponent, one of them being petrified. And with despair mastery you can pretty much shut down opponent's heal already there with a single parry. And another really notable class that Captain often utilizes is skill. Basically he can consume one of his kinetic charges to purify a debuff, which is absolutely amazing for Cap, as we saw in 6.2 videos when he can deal with incinerates and so on and so forth. So yeah, he is a great champion with a well-rounded set of utilities. I think he's perfectly balanced champion just because of the way kind of you need to tweak and tune him for him to be able to do the things you want to do. But overall, I think he's an amazing, magnificent beast of a champion, and look at that beard. However, we are moving down to spot number 4, and in spot number 4 I'm going to be placing the Thing. The Thing now has 2-3 different things that make him a really good and amazing champion. Number 1, you can choose to play him with his like high risk and high reward playstyle. Basically you can amp up a lot of your furies and you get a lot of extra damage if you use champion synergy. Basically then while you would be knocked out, instead of being knocked out, you get at 1 HP and you have chance to stack up some really massive furies and deal some incredible amount of damage. And I have seen like entire quests pretty much cheese with the Thing when you play him on like 1 or few HPs and just smash the opposition. However, you do need to kind of dedicate pretty much a full synergy team for that, so do keep that in mind. However, even with that, without all his synergies, he can still hit fairly hard. He is versatile. His immunities, he is like the only champion in the game that's like immune to nullify and fate seal and stuff like that, and I think that is gonna have more and more kind of use in the future. He's also bleed immune, obviously made of rocks, and shock immune. We don't have too many shock immune champions. He's XL champion, so he's great for variant too, and there are just like a lot of really kind of subtle redeeming qualities about the Thing. And even without his like close to the dying, close to the edge playstyle, he can still dish out some really good damage. And yeah, so I think the Thing is 4th best science champion. And now for 5th spot, we had a lot of candidates, and I was having a hard time figuring it out because all of these champions, first of all, I think top 3 is kind of like a bit head above the other ones. Then I think Thing stands a bit higher than anybody else in the science class, and that is the main reason why I placed science in 2nd instead of cosmic, because I couldn't really figure out which champion deserves the 5th spot kind of the most, because I saw the difference of the champion quality kind of drop after the Thing. There are some really great champions. Kabam has done really great job revamping Red Hulk, Luke Cage, Spider-Gwen, She-Hulk. All of those are really great champions. But and Wasp is an amazing champion as well. But I think that spot number 5 belongs to Gladiator Hulk. Even though he's definitely not a personal favorite of mine, but he is proven himself to be useful in both variants, especially variant 1. For many people, he was one of the MVPs. Now, again, he's good in Act 5 Act 6, dealing with Mr. Sinister with Heimdall synergy, just kind of bypassing that passive shock damage. And he's pretty much more or less the only champion in the game that has an ability to deal with passive damage as it stands. Now Neymar has just come out. Neymar will be able to do that as well, but it's going to be a bit trickier. And yeah, that is the main reason why I'm going to give Gulk the 5th place in science class, just because he's pretty much the only champion in game that deals with passive damage and does it well and actually benefits kind of from it. You're still going to be taking some damage, you're going to be increasing your own damage, and you're just going to be unlocking like whole safety blanket, because while his face me is active, you regenerate any damage taken. That also includes when you slip up, you get hit in the face, you get all that regenerated, and it's just great time overall. So yes, I think Gulk, for what it is, I have my problems with the champion. I have a lot of things I don't like about him, but it is quite undeniable that he's saving a lot of resources for many people who have him ranked, and therefore I think he belongs in the top 5 spot. Anyways guys, so yeah, that was my video about Science top 5, and so we only have the Cosmic class left. I will try and do my best to record that one tomorrow, but that is going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, share it with your friends, comment on what you think, what would be your top 5, what you agree, what you disagree. But I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.